right, so thank you very much for coming. I do want to talk today about a few things that we implemented at Mollie and the W factor, as we call it, like the wow factor of benefits. I'm going to start with why me. So why did they ask me to come all the way over from Amsterdam to talk to you today? My name is not Mollie, it's Ingeborg. My son is called Ollie. It's not a coincidence. However, I did not completely pick the company because of the name of my son. I had him before I joined. He does like the fact that it's called Mollie. But I chose the company because they were a disruptor. They're a fintech company. Who knows Mollie? Hands up. 1, 2. Okay, awesome. So what they do is they create super easy online payments for web shops. And basically they're trying to fight the banks and make it all a little bit easier. So from the origin of the company and our purpose, we're disruptors. And they were looking for someone last year who could also, within HR, disrupt. So do something very different for the employees. So HR would be much more aligned to the purpose of the company than the previous HR practices that they had. This also says a little bit about Mollie. It's our Instagram page. So a bit of background on that company. We are in the fintech industry in Amsterdam. Like London, fintech is super competitive. So it's really hard to find people who have the right skills and the right background to come and join us. We have grown from 60 to 180 employees in the last 2 years. With the last year, we added 90. So it's actually been the busiest year. And we're growing super rapidly. We have 2 recruiters since a few months. We've never used agencies. We don't have a marketing department helping us out. We don't have an employer branding specialist. Actually, we didn't have an HR system until September and no ATS until October. And because today I'm talking about benefits, I think it's fair to say we don't have any interesting benefits that cost money. Although we were a startup 2 years ago, we had hardly any money ourselves. So for example, in the Netherlands, people have to buy their own healthcare, but a lot of employers pay for it. We don't. We also don't have an annual bonus, which a lot of companies in the Netherlands would provide. And like that, there's a lot of other benefits that are actually quite costly that we don't have. So you would think not a lot of reasons maybe to join us. However, we raised 25 million earlier this year in July. Our employee turnover is less than 5%. That's regrettable leavers, so not at the end of their contract, and they're not extended or interns, but really people that leave us that we didn't want to resign. And we were listed in the top 10 of the most desirable places to work for in Amsterdam by the Next Web, which is a huge conference, amongst companies like Amazon and Google and Facebook, who all has offices in Amsterdam. All the companies on that top 10, besides Mollie, had all those super expensive, nice benefits. So you think, why do they actually want to work for you? Not only do they want to work for us, our net promoter score, this is October, so it's super recent, is 46. For those of you not familiar with the net promoter score, it's basically you take the promoters minus the detractors, so getting to a score of 100 is nearly impossible. 70 is considered world class, 50 is excellent. So the feeling of our employees is that we're close to excellent. We still don't have those benefits. And then the dreaded Glassdoor, as we mentioned a few more times today. We didn't have a Glassdoor account until March, and when we opened it up, we asked our employees to be really honest because we wanted to give people that apply to the company a really honest insight into what it would be like to work for us. And I think we've got over 30 reviews now, all from current employees, because we don't have a lot leaving. And they rate us quite highly, so it's also helping to attract that talent. My founder was really much against Glassdoor, because he always felt it is a platform where people go to when they want to whinge. And normally it's only people that leave the company that then take an opportunity to leave a bad review. And we kind of proved him wrong when we said, let's just try it, because I don't actually think people feel that way about the company. So for those of you who don't actively promote it, I think it was really cool for us that the first reviews were positive rather than having to wait until people decided on their own to leave and then actually leave those bad reviews first. And you might be wondering why and how did we do this? Because the promoter score, the engagement levels, like being listed as an employer of choice, we have so many applications coming in. It's not clearly because of the benefits. Well, we do have a few, and we call it the wow factor of Mollie. And for those of you wondering what the wow factor is, who knows Amy Cuddy or is familiar with her work or her talks? Almost no one. I highly recommend you watch her TED Talk if you haven't seen it. So basically she wrote a book and it's called Presence, and it's about body language, and it's very much about what people judge you on, if they want to enter a relationship with you or not, or when they're sitting in front of you and they decide whether or not they want to spend some time with you. And she came up after a lot of research. She was published by Harvard Business Review. That it's 2 questions that they ask. And these are the 2 questions that every person asks themselves before they start a relationship. So this could be a personal relationship or an employment relationship. It's, can I respect you? So do I trust that you have the right skills? Are you professional? Do you know what you're talking about? So imagine a candidate sitting in front of an interviewer. This is quite important when you're assessing the person you might want to work for in the future. And they also assess at the same time, can I trust you? Do I think you're warm and kind? Are you going to look after me? Are you going to be nice to me? So it's professionalism and kindness, which they're judging you on. So what do you think is the number 1? Raise your hand for professional. Raise your hand for kindness. Thank you very much. So she found, after a lot of research, that people actually choose kindness over professionalism. So you can imagine if a manager, a hiring manager, isn't a subject matter expert, but he's looking to hire someone, in the end, the candidate might decide, you know what, you don't know everything, I might be smarter, I don't care, I trust you. You're a nice person, I think you're going to look after me, you're going to help me grow. So they're not really basing their decision to work for you or continue to work for you on how professional you are. She's actually proven through her research that they base their decision to come and stay on kindness. I guess it's a little bit the same with a personal relationship. Like you could decide that you really like the skills of your partner, but in the end you stay with him or her because they're nice, right? And not because of the job that they do. So when you pull that back to, there's a lot of cool other authors on this topic, like Adam Grant or Simon Sinek, or they all talk about why people choose to stay, and a lot of it comes down to being friendly and kind. The Maslow hierarchy has also been spoken about before today, but basically as an employer, it would, if you take this hierarchy, it says that we offer employment, which means that it's very basic in that hierarchy. And as you might even say it's the physiological needs, because when you're employed, you have your water, your food, and your shelter, right? So you have a paycheck and you have the basics that you need. And that's where Mollie decided to look at it completely different and see how can we get to that top of that pyramid, still only being their employer and not their partner. So then I want to make a sidestep to the science of kindness. So for those of you who have not studied this, it actually makes us happier. So when you're kind to people, or people are kind to you, you have this feeling of happiness, there's endorphins, and it makes you, in general, more satisfied with life. So if you don't receive it very often, I say start doing it actually, because also that will make you feel happier and more positive about your own actions. It improves our mood. So I actually also say this to the hiring managers before the interviews. I'm like, just be kind. Like, don't grill them. Don't ask them trick questions. That person is here. They're super nervous. Be nice to them, because it will not only improve your mood, it will improve their mood. And if they leave that interview and they're feeling good and happy and with a great mood, if they've had 5 interviews with 5 companies, they're likely to remember the mood that they walked out of our office with. So we try to make them feel comfortable and nice, although we still grill them, because we do want to have the best of the best. And the last one, it actually increases energy levels. So when you're kind to people, you get more of a buzz, you get more energy going on. And so we thought, well, if in our office what we need, there's a lot of developers there, about 70% or so. They tend to sit behind their laptop and they work all day. There's not actually a lot of energy coming out of it. And we were like, okay, how do we get them to interact more and to do more for each other and with each other? And implementing a little bit of kindness in there actually really helped. So I guess the wow factor for us, obviously, we decided is kindness. And that took us all the way to the top of that Maslow pyramid, because when you're kind to people and you're helping them with more than just employment and their paycheck, no matter how they want to be paid, it remains salary, and not focusing on the benefits like health insurance or maybe a better pension than someone else would give. We actually try to give them something that is called love or belonging, like friendship and intimacy. We give them respect and self-esteem, and we really push our people to become the best that they are by being kind and triggering lots of little actions. So we've taken our employership very seriously, but also think that the reason why people stay with us and they work for us and they want to work for us is because we actually focus on this. So not that paycheck, that's a given, you get that anyway. So not those basic benefits, you kind of find them everywhere, but I think it's really rare to find a company where they constantly challenge you to be the best you can be by being friendly to you. So you should wow them and be kind. So what I did is, this is all very theoretical, and I think it's our philosophy. You might be thinking, how am I going to do this within my own company? We're small, but I don't think that gives you an excuse, if you're bigger than we are, not to do this. Because when you're big, it doesn't mean you can't be kind. Those two are not exclusive. So what we've done, I'll take you through our employee experience on a few of the factors. We do go the extra mile for our people. So within the recruitment process, for example, I already told you we are friendly, but when we hire the right one, before they start, we take team pictures of the team that they'll work in. We do it on a Friday. Our HR team does help. We take a picture of the team, and we send them an email. It's a personal email about that we're looking forward to them joining the team. We always get comments after the onboarding process that they really love this email, that they showed it to their friends and to their family, like, I can't believe that the company took the effort to take that picture. And yes, there's the card, the personalized card on the desk. But we really focus on doing a lot of things together still. And again, when you're big, it doesn't give you an excuse not to bring your people together anymore. So we have an annual calendar, and every month we do a few things where people have an opportunity to come together. It's inclusive, so not everyone likes Friday drinks. So some things are during the week, some things are after work, some includes alcohol, some don't. But we try to bring people together as much as possible. And instead of providing, for example, a fitness subscription, or that we pay for your sports events, we decided not to do that, because you can't actually check whether or not people are using that gym subscription. So we felt that there was a lot of money thrown at people, but not necessarily used, and it doesn't bring them together. So we decided, let's sponsor every sporty event that they organize themselves. So we don't actually do the coordination. We encourage employees to set up these trips or soccer games or boxing matches. But we always sponsor their outfits, and we always send them out for lunch or dinner on the, they can claim it on the company. And so they appreciate the fact that we help, but it's not a bigger cost to us than giving those sports subscriptions out. I think I like this one the most. So we actually have a famous fashion photographer who comes in every 3 months to take headshots. He's super expensive when you think about headshots. We could have taken someone much more cheap. But what he's done is he's created a Mollie look. As you can tell, they're really good looking. They're not in real life. He's played around with filters and a background, and they wear Mollie swag, and they all wear the Mollie t-shirt. But what he's done is he's promised people that you get the best headshot in your life. And he makes those headshots, and you can stay with him until you really like it. So it's like, I don't like this one, not that one. Some people spend 20 minutes with him until they get the right one. So our org chart internally is the best looking org chart ever. But externally, it's even better, because we encourage people to use it for LinkedIn. We encourage them to use it for Instagram. And we also encourage them to use it for Tinder. So a lot of them, they've actually come back and said, you know what, I've got way more likes after I've put that headshot. So when you get to that Maslow pyramid, love is a true thing. We're helping them out. And so every person that joins the company within the first 3 months, they get a headshot like this. If you don't like yours anymore, you've grown a beard or colored your hair, you can redo it the next quarter. We have great swag. I'm not wearing it today, but we do have awesome sweaters. The founder of the company also owns a clothing company, so he's actually providing us all with quality swag, as we call it. But we don't only give it to our employees, we actually also give it to the family. So when people start, we always ask them, do you have kids? How old are they? And we assume if they have a partner, that they'll get an extra t-shirt. So the baby clothes are really cute, but obviously they also get the hats and the t-shirts. So when you join, you immediately come home on the first day and you've got something to give to your family. So it's not only you who's joining this new adventure or company, they're actually in it for the ride. And we give people their birthday off. So we have a standard amount of days off, and when we thought about how do we give them a little bit time back, like real me time, people normally don't take their birthday off. Whilst they might not want to be in the office and work, they kind of feel like I shouldn't use my annual holidays for myself because I should use them for my family, or we go on trips and I always don't have enough. So they get their birthday off on their actual birthday, or if it's in the weekend, they get it on the Friday or the Monday, and they get to decide what to do. And we get really cool responses, like I actually went to the spa, or I visited my mom, or I had lunch with my friends. I would have never otherwise done that. It also saves us a lot of cake in the office, because we don't do that anymore, and it also saves us having to buy birthday gifts. They're still allowed to do that, but they don't have to anymore. So it's a lot of time not spent eating cake together, so it's healthy. And it's a lot of people happier on their birthday for the fact that they had some time off. And this is one where a lot of benefits people go like, oh yeah, we do that too. We have stock options for everyone after year one, because in the Netherlands, after year one, you're normally made permanent employee. You always start with a 1-year contract, and then it's permanent. So after year one, everyone gets stock options. So it doesn't matter which level grade you are. We don't actually have levels and grades. But we've just decided everyone's equally important. So every person after 1 year gets stock options. How many you get is not depending on your level or your grade or your job title. It's on your performance. So as a receptionist, if you're brilliant, you could get as many stock options as a senior marketing manager. It's very popular, I can tell you. And some of you might have heard of Workations. So Workations is where you send a whole team on a holiday, but they're not actually holidaying, they're working. So that's why it's a workation. So when people have a great idea in their team and they say, at the office we just get a little bit distracted, but we think we can finish something, like we also have this culture of commit and deliver. If you say you want to do something, don't think about it forever, just go and do it. It's also called like get shit done. So if you want to get shit done, you send your team away. This was Ibiza, and they said, if you send us away, you have to come with a business case. Send us away for 5 days, and we promise the API will be finished, and it was. So it's not like you can sit there and do nothing and swim all day. It's a commitment to the company that when we send you there, you'll finish it. You won't get sent every month, and not everyone wants to go, but when a team comes up with a suggestion to go on a workation, the management team, which is a very small team, evaluates that, and normally we say yes, and great results come from it. And the last one is this. I love the Get Well Soon baskets. So in the Netherlands, you've got something like a company doctor. It's called arbodienst. You probably have the same here. When someone's off sick, we call a company doctor, and they actually check if the person is sick, and they come with this plan on how to get them back into the office as quickly as possible. They're also costly, because every time we actually hire that company doctor to evaluate them, we pay. So we decided that the Get Well Soon baskets are actually a cheaper and nicer way to stimulate people to get back into the office. Because if they're not really sick, they feel a little bit guilty when they receive this. But when they are sick, they absolutely love it. And they don't have a doctor calling them after 3 days, like, let's have set up an appointment, and how are you doing? Well, they're sick. So we kind of decided to trust them and be kind and send them something nice and wish them a speedy recovery. These are not the only ones. I actually have a huge long list of other things that we do that are super cheap. They sometimes only require a little bit of creativity or someone coordinating it. We have a tiny HR team, we're 3. And we make all of this happen for almost 200 people now, and it's possible. So I guess the message for today's talk was it's really kindness that will make you irresistible to employees or potential new employees. And to walk away today thinking, hopefully a little bit inspired, how rather than new technology or new benefits or more streamlined processes, how you will implement a little bit more kindness in your reward strategy. Thank you very much.